Welcome to the Waiver Wire. Waiver Wire. Waiver Wire. Waiver Wire. Waiver Wire. Waiver Wire. All right, welcome to the Waiver Wire, where fantasy players become fantasy legends.
What's up?
We talked about last week's games. We're going to talk about next week's games. Today is still Tuesday. So today we will play game 4 of the ALCS. I would like to say, just to start, before I get into my sorrows of what's happened the last 2 games, 5 ALCSs in a row. We are one of 3 teams to have ever do it. We are a legit dynasty. We will go down as one of the better teams ever. All of the people that want to say we're cheaters, I would just say, how do you think we're still doing it? Is that what they think? Do they think we're still doing it?
Think it. But I think the White Sox even
they accused us.
Yeah.
And then we smashed their dicks in the dirt 10-1 in their own. I love that they said that. I want the Red Sox to go ahead. Actually, the Red Sox pitcher copying Carlos Correa and pointing at his clock or whatever. I hope that fire. I hope something fires our bats up, because fuck, our bats have got to come to life. They've got to.
It is what I said it was going to be. I mean, we don't have the starting pitching.
But here's the thing.
To fucking hang with these guys.
These guys are hitting off of us. That's fine. But in the White Sox, fucking all of those games, we scored big runs. Even the game we lost, we scored 6 runs. It was 6-12. I'm just saying. And last night, they got it going again. And actually, in game 2, they made that late run. It was 9-5, I think, was the final score. Mm-hmm. And they made that late run where it was like, oh, we can beat up their bullpen. I see that we can beat up their bullpen. And what happened is we got Chris Sale out early in the first game. So if we come out and start off strong and get their starter out of there, it's when we let their starter just go and go and go, and our guys won't get on base. Yeah. And we just can't.
When they start pressing, and then the other thing is you can't fucking give up all those fucking runs and get behind.
Altuve with the errors, man. Listen, I love Jose Altuve. I will always love Jose Altuve. He is my favorite Astro of all time. He is a first ballot Hall of Famer. He has now, I think he's like top 4 in home runs in the postseason all time, with like Bernie Williams and Reggie Jackson and all this shit. Yep. He's an all-time great. You can't make these fucking errors, bro.
Nah.
You can't let routine ground balls go by you like this in big games. Fuck, it happens a lot.
Even in not big games.
But in big games, it seems like he gets the yips and he just fucking can't control it. And I love him, but god damn it, get it together. Carlos Correa is going to leave after this year.
Where's Correa going, you think?
The Yankees. He's already said it. He said the other day in an interview that he's really excited about playing in New York. And they were like, what? And he was like, oh, nothing. I'm sorry, English no so good. And it's like, no, bitch, you know exactly what you fucking just said. But yeah, I think he's going to the Yankees.
Yeah, he's definitely not staying here.
No, he's not.
I don't think he wants
to. We offered him an extension.
I don't think he wants to play here.
And that sucks, but I mean, we'll move Bregman over to shortstop, and hopefully we'll be able to move on. But oh man, breaks my heart. Zach Greinke has got to dig down into his scrotum, find what nutsack that he has, go out there and pitch. He's got to pitch 8 innings. We can't go to the bullpen early again. It doesn't work. We fall apart. Our bullpen is not set for that. If he brings in Stanek one more fucking time. I mean, the thing is, too, Dusty Baker does these things like last night. I don't know if Jake Myers was hurt, or I don't know what's going on with Michael.
Hurt, yeah.
Okay, so Michael Brantley, and then he doesn't feel confident starting Yohn in the outfield, so he brings in this Siri kid. The Siri kid was terrible. He was 0 for 3. I hate sports. I hate baseball. I hate football. I don't think I'm going to like the Rockets, so I hate all sports. I need to get into hockey. And we go over to, man, go Braves, huh? Fuck yeah.
Hey, at least that. If we
yeah.
can't go to the series,
if we
I don't
can't
want
go,
to see
then the
fucking
Dodgers can't go
Dodgers either.
either.
Yeah.
Fuck y'all.
Fuck the Dodgers.
Fuck the Dodgers. And that fucking feels good. And I love. And you know what? The Braves and the Red Sox. I think we're missing out on the fact of the momentum that they have coming into this. You know, that's what baseball is. Who's hot at the right time?
Yeah, the Red Sox
Braves
had to,
were hot.
Yeah, they were
the
on
Braves
that.
were hot. The Red Sox were
the
hot.
wild card chase.
They were
had
chasing
to play
that wild
well
card.
down the stretch.
They had to play
played
the wild
best.
card game, so they had to get up for
Beat
the Yankees thing. And
beat the fucking Rays.
yeah, they beat the number 1 seed, so they're feeling good about that. The Braves came in and beat a team in the Brewers that
we have the offense to do this.
We can hit. We can hit. Our guys gotta hit. They gotta.
We
hit.
need to get some pitching. And when McCullers, but I said this too, like
when McCullers
when we were talking about it
heartbreaking.
before, it's like we'll have to win all of McCullers' starts, and he's not starting.
He's
so.
not even on the roster.
Right. Yeah.
That was like when I saw that, I was like, oh my god, are you serious? What? And then so it's like, okay, I don't really trust Fromber. I've never really trusted Fromber. I've always been like, but we snuck out of the game with Fromber. We got the win with the game with Fromber. So I was like, I feel good about this. I like Luis Garcia. He's pitched really well this year. He's a young kid that's done really well. It says it's something with his knee. He's not even looking like he might be able to go again. We're testing it with him right now. But he looked terrible and gave up the 2 grand slams last night.
Well, he only gave up the one. They pulled him. He got hurt, and then
the other
fucking Odorizzi gave up the second one.
I don't want Odorizzi anywhere near the mound. I don't like him. I don't think he pitches well. He's been hurt, so now all of a sudden this is like his first game back. Are we crazy? What are we doing? Like, it's not his first game back, but this is his first.
Bottom
big game
line
back.
is we're gonna have to win these games 10-8 or something like that.
Yep.
And if the offense
can't have errors, Jose Altuve can't be making errors.
We are one of the best defensive teams in the league and one of the best offensive teams in the league, and they have to do that.
Got to do both.
Yeah, and because the pitching. I mean, and somebody's gonna have to come up with some.
And do the Dodgers come back from this?
They can.
They can. It's a long series, but man, I don't know. The Braves seem to got their number.
The Braves want to win.
They want to win
more. I think.
Yeah, and if it is Braves and Red Sox, I don't even fucking care. Don't tell me. I don't give a fuck. Let me know who wins at the end. I won't even put my eyeballs on it.
I'll check it out on Sports Center.
Yeah, show me the highlights of who eventually won the World Series. Who gives a shit? It has to be Astros. Astros at least. Astros, Braves, I'm in. The rest of the world won't be, but Astros, Dodgers, the rest of the world will watch. All the world will watch Astros Dodgers because of the rematch of the bad blood of the
series.
You know,
that's what we still want.
Oh, I want it. I want it back.
Astros, Dodgers.
I kind of want the Dodgers to come back because if we can come back and win this, I want it to be us versus them, and that we had to fight to get there. Especially if the Astros do make it to the World Series after the way that this series has gone the last 2 games, it means that we will have fought back and showed heart. They're not going to lose the World Series. They're not going to get all the way there and then be like, now we're going to lose it. No. McCullers will come back. Justin Verlander will come back. We'll got it all. But, yeah, so let's get into some foodie football. We'll talk about next week's games.
Oh, I should write these down. Oh, we don't have a pen. Fuck.
Oh, no. I don't know if there's one up here.
A pen.
Anywho, hey, go get us. Hey, Devlin, go get us a fucking pen.
Where's our guy?
Where's our fucking guy? So we go to the Thursday night game, which is bad for Baker because he has a shorter amount of time to get ready for this, and the rest of his team is all beat up too. So
yeah.
I circled this before I found this out about Nick Chubb and Kareem Hunt and all this stuff. So maybe I'm wrong. Maybe Denver's going to win this game, but Cleveland has Denver coming to town. The Broncos at Cleveland. Cleveland is a 3.5 point favorite. I wonder if that's changed since all the injuries.
I don't know, but I think I'm still taking Cleveland. Denver won their first 3 games against
bad teams.
3 bad teams, and they've lost the last 3.
Yeah. So yeah, I think you're right. I think it's a win for Cleveland. They need a win because in their division, it's kind of getting out of hand. If Baltimore wins a couple more and Pittsburgh keeps winning and Cincinnati looks good, I mean, Cleveland's, whereas I thought they were going to win the division, that's, if they lose again, that's probably a long shot.
Baltimore's 5-1.
I know.
If Cleveland loses, they're 3-4. So whoever loses this game will be 3-4 after a really good start.
Yep. Houston at Arizona. My God. My God. They're a 17-point favorite at home. That's got to be a record for this year. I don't think I've seen a number that big since we've been doing this.
I think we should go back to Cleveland real quick, just because there's so many injuries. We did talk about it yesterday or on the last show. Ernest Johnson, you'd probably want to start, so he wouldn't be an obvious one. And maybe Peoples-Jones.
Would you start them?
I would Johnson. I'm gonna, if I can pick him up, I will.
Yeah. Well, because they're a running team, and
right?
so that's
they're
what they're
still gonna. Yeah, they're still gonna run the ball,
and they're missing both of them.
Right,
So,
and so he's gonna probably
be the
get
workhorse.
20 touches.
Yeah, that's a good point.
I would probably definitely. I don't think I would be really confident starting Peoples-Jones, but because of the injuries,
yeah,
I wouldn't start Peoples-Jones. He caught that
start
fucking
Tim
Hail
Patrick
Mary.
though over there on Denver.
Yeah, but
he's been doing
Tim
well.
Patrick, you could start, and I'm gonna probably start. I mean, the other ones are probably obvious,
Yeah,
but
and Cortland Sutton has
I'm
been
gonna
doing
start
better,
him because,
right?
God damn it,
Yeah, he's been doing better. Arizona though, they're gonna beat the fuck out of us.
They're gonna
own us.
He could probably still start Cooks from Houston. That might not be an obvious one, but then your Cardinals, you know,
you can start them
plug
all.
and play if you got him.
If the Christian Kirk, I'm
well, your
think I'm gonna
Rondell
do
Moores
it.
and Christian Kirks and even AJ Greens are still
My whole team's
flex
on a bye,
plays,
so
right?
my
They're
whole
flex
team's on a
plays.
bye. I got to do it, so I'm gonna start Christian Kirk. So
What about Ertz? You gonna start Ertz this week?
no, I think you got to give it a week. Just
Unless
see what
you
happens.
really have.
Yeah, if you
If you don't have a choice,
if you got
you're
no
like,
other choice,
fuck
do
it,
it.
I
Or if
got
you
him.
had him, if let's say you randomly had him on your team, like the guy I was playing had Zach Ertz, and so now it's like, oh well, I mean, I have him, you know,
Right.
maybe.
I guess it would depend what your other options are.
your other
but,
options are.
You know,
Yeah.
it might be something. But yeah,
So-
I'm gonna take Arizona and
Yeah,
then.
Arizona and the points.
Well, we're giving up 17, but I think it's pretty safe.
it's all right. Washington at Green Bay. Green Bay's a 9.5 point
That's a big
favorite.
number.
It's a big number, but I'm still going with it. Green Bay's looked a lot better these last couple weeks, and Washington
Washington's
is
going the other direction.
still not looking good. Defense is still bad. I see Green Bay scoring points. So
I think this is where we're gonna have first disagreement. I'm gonna take Washington
because of the points.
and the 9.5.
Yeah, I get you. It's a big number, but I still think Green Bay gets us at home.
Probably if Gibson's hurt, then
They're riding high, too.
McKissick would be
definitely do
someone that
McKissick.
isn't an obvious. Well,
Yeah.
I mean,
But other than that,
maybe Ricky Seals-Jones. He's another one of those.
I don't buy it, but if you buy it, go for it. I think he scored
Another
2 games in a
tight
row.
end,
Yeah.
yeah.
In Green Bay, it's Devontae
Yeah.
Adams and Aaron Jones and
Rodgers,
and that's it. And again, they must just sit in a corner when they get to the locker room. They're like, you three, us three, we did great.
Yeah.
The rest of these guys, Robert Tonyan, I'm just gonna cut Robert Tonyan.
Yeah, I don't know why
I'm just gonna cut him.
why
just gonna cut
I don't know
him.
why you have him.
Why the fuck is he on a team?
He's
It
just
shouldn't-
wasting-
I'm wasting a bench position. That's what these two shows have had, is me going, So Kansas City at Tennessee. That's probably one of the better games of the week.
KC's favored.
4.5
4.5.
points. I think it's a little disrespectful after watching what just happened on Monday night. Tennessee's a good team.
And Jesus, Derrick Henry did that to the Bills defense.
Yeah, imagine what he's going to do
What's
to
he
this
gonna
Kansas
do?
City defense. They're not going to. They're not going to ever
They're
get the
gonna hold him to
ball.
like 50
No way.
yards.
No
They're
way.
gonna like shut him down.
They don't have people to tackle this man. They don't have people to tackle this
Bruh,
fucking
he should
freaking
have
nature.
200 yards and 3 touchdowns.
Yeah, there's
again.
no way. There's no way.
Tennessee.
Yeah, and
I'm gonna take Kansas. Oh wait, they're the fucking favorite. Shit.
yeah, I'm taking Tennessee. I'm taking Tennessee, and I think it's going to be a big win too, because it will push Kansas City to this brink of, are we in panic mode? And I think they are a little bit. I know they won last week. I know they feel better, but they still in their division. with the Chargers that are still 4-2, with the Raiders who are 4-2, with Denver still, they started off with 3 wins, so they're up against the wall. They gotta keep winning. Kansas City's gotta win.
I think Kansas City's gonna win. I'm gonna pick Kansas City.
Okay, I'm going Tennessee. And then we're going to go with starters there that you maybe would want to. I saw people starting this St. Brown guy for Tennessee, but or was that for Detroit?
That's
Detroit. It was a Detroit guy, St. Brown. But I think I think Tennessee has a St. Brown too. Anyways,
I don't know.
I wouldn't be crazy about anybody. But
there's
AJ
no
Brown.
weird people that I would be starting
there's
in this
nothing
game.
weird here. Nothing weird. I'm starting Darrell Williams though. He fucking did. He did better in one game than Clyde Edwards-Helaire did in a lifetime. And,
I'm glad I have him on my. Glad I have him in the other league, not this our league.
Atlanta at Miami. Red zone. Don't you dare keep this away from me. I don't need this in my life. I guess maybe to see Jalen Waddle go off, but I'm taking Miami, even though Atlanta's a 2.5-point favorite. I think it's kind of weird that Atlanta's a 2.5-point favorite. I don't know what they've seen in Atlanta, but
It's probably what they don't see in Miami.
Okay,
I would
fair
also
enough.
imagine it's coming off a bye.
Yeah. And Kyle Pitts looked better in that last game, so maybe that's
Should get Ridley back.
Yeah, maybe Atlanta wins this game, but I doubt it.
Honestly, they got Cordero Patterson. You can't stop. He's basically like Derrick
Top 5
Henry.
running back.
Yeah.
Is he top 5 in next year's draft?
Fuck no.
Miami, though, all the receivers are out. So I think there's a guy named Preston Williams. Interesting guy to maybe go look at.
Waddle, Gesicki.
Yeah, other than that, it's a reach. It's a reach.
And then,
but I'm going Miami. I'm
going to take Atlanta. We're 3 in a row here. We disagree.
Okay.
I'm not very good at this, though.
You're going with the road teams, huh?
Yeah.
I think that's one of the reasons that I chose those. Actually, this next game too. New England has the Jets coming to town. I chose the home teams on all of these. I picked the New England Patriots. They're a 7-point favorite at home. The Jets haven't looked very good. However, I know it's a divisional game, and I'm sure it'll be closer than it seems. But I think in all 4 of these games, I think it matters that it's at home for all 4 of them. So, but I'm taking New England. What's your thoughts on New England?
I would take New England also, I think.
Yeah. I think the thing is too that they've looked better and better since the Tampa Bay game. Since the Tampa Bay game last week against Dallas, New England's looked a lot better. Yeah. So I see them getting a win here, looking a lot better. Please throw it to Jacoby Myers again and again and again.
Kendrick Bourne,
yeah, that's an interesting one. Hunter
Henry
might as well go with that, especially if you're in a tight end kind of purgatory like I am. So I'm going New England. You going New England?
Yep.
No Jets. The Jets
no
suck. Are we going to start Corey
Jets.
Davis?
Yeah, at least in one league, I probably will.
Jameson Crowder, I'd be nervous on. Give that a week. Give that some time. But yeah.
Actually, no, I think I'm starting Corey Davis in both leagues, mostly because of buys.
Yeah. Carolina at the Giants. Carolina's a 3-point favorite on the road. I'm going to take Carolina because the Giants have no one. And Carolina is not a bad team. I think they've played some better teams these last couple of weeks, so that's where these losses have come from. And they've got some injuries too, but
they don't have Christian McCaffrey.
Right.
They can't win without McCaffrey, so I'm going to take the Giants.
Oh, wow. All right. Said not even a Giants fan said that. That's but no, I mean, I hear you. It's another kind of doo-doo game that I don't really need on my face.
Yeah.
Give me Kansas City, Tennessee.
Weird starts, like outlying starters here. Nobody.
Not really. I mean, I guess you got to start Sterling Shepard if he plays because they have nobody else.
I mean, I might have to start Booker.
You might start Booker. Did he do okay?
He did okay.
Yeah, in Carolina,
they were also playing the Rams,
Anderson.
right? Yeah, they also played the Rams, who aren't exactly the easiest team.
I'm going to sit
on.
Robbie Anderson because it seems like there's some confidence issues going on.
Yeah, I'm not starting him confidently.
They love DJ
Moore. I'll be starting Hubbard. So, I mean, those guys you can start.
But Carolina Giants should be kind of a weird doo-doo game. I don't need it. Cincinnati at Baltimore, give me that game. That's a good game.
Yeah.
It's a divisional game. Baltimore's a 6.5-point favorite. I think that's a high number.
I think that's a big number too.
And I think Cincinnati has looked a lot better. I think Cincinnati's going to outright win this game.
Oh, really?
I think Baltimore's riding high, feeling good, but I think 5-1 is a big number for them. Again, I don't like Baltimore and I don't buy it. So I'm going to go with Cincinnati and say Joe Burrow. This is big for them. They win this game, they're tied for the division lead with they're both 4-2. So it would be a big game for Cincinnati. I think I would love to see it because I think Jamar chasing them and played a lot better. But we'll see.
I think you're right, and I think I would take Cincinnati with the points.
Points is high too. Points is too high. I think it's a close game. It's a close game. Should be a really good game. There's nobody. You can't start any of those fucking Baltimore running.
No.
You can't. The old school.
Somebody's going to score a touchdown. You can bet on that, but who?
I don't know. Yeah, nobody knows. Yeah.
Start Lamar Jackson.
Yeah, and then the Cincinnati side.
Andrews.
The Cincinnati side. You're starting all your receivers there.
You can probably even start Boyd. They'll have a good game.
Yeah, and I would even go Burrows. I mean, I know Baltimore's defense is good, but Burrows has been doing good weeks in a row.
Yeah.
Then we go Philly at Vegas. Vegas is a 3-point favorite. I'm going to take Vegas in this. Vegas has proved me wrong and looked really good as a team. They obviously, had this whole John Gruden thing go down, and they responded to it, and they did well. So I'm going to take Vegas here. Philly has not really done that well. It'll probably be a close game.
This is a tough game, I think.
Yeah, close game. I think 3 points is good enough, but it wouldn't surprise me if Philly won.
No, I'm having trouble with this.
Yeah,
I want to take Philly.
It's probably a close game. Jalen Hurts, like I said, is good. He's a good quarterback.
I'm going to take Philly.
I would feel good about Jalen Hurts being my franchise quarterback over who is that guy before that we said is not like Baker Mayfield. I don't think is a franchise quarterback, but
no.
Who did we say? Tua.
Oh, yeah.
I would feel better of Jalen over Tua for sure.
All right.
I'd feel better of Jalen over Carson Wentz, Justin Fields, Jared Goff. Man, Daniel Jones. Jalen Hurts is a good. Jalen Hurts over Sam Darnold. Jalen Hurts over Derek Carr, Teddy Bridgewater. Man, I just can't stop. I can't stop naming Jalen Hurts over people. Yeah, he's good. He's good. So you're right. It could be a win for Philly. This could be a game where Vegas kind of takes a step back. We'll see. There's nobody really out there that I would feel like is even on Philly.
Hurts.
Yeah,
Smith.
but I mean,
just your regular ones.
I might not even do
maybe
Devontae
not even
Smith.
Miles Sanders though. He might be one of those guys that you gotta bench.
Yeah. Vegas wise, maybe you can start Ruggs if you're feeling like it. He had a better week.
Maybe he's gonna do better, especially if
he took some targets away from Hunter Renfrow. So
yeah, and I'm not starting Renfrow, but
really?
I'm gonna hang on to him just because
I think it's gonna still be there. He's still gonna get targets. They're still gonna look his way.
Yeah, I might need him in one of these. Yeah. To fill in a bye week or something.
Interesting game though. I'd rather watch this. And this is going to be a 3:30 game, so I'll see.
That should be a good game.
Yeah,
I'll see plenty of more interesting ones.
Detroit at the Rams. That's a 15 right there. A 15-point favorite at home. I'm still taking them.
I'm going to take them too. Yeah. Normally I stay away from them big numbers, but good
all the
Lord.
big numbers. I took all the big numbers this week. That's all. I said yes to all of them. I was like, yep, I think they're right. Yeah. I think the Rams beat the fuck out of the Lions.
Yeah, they oughta. Shit.
Just you know what? And
so do you want him to throw the ball to Robert Woods?
I'm benching him again. Potentially have him on my bench as of right now. I can't do it. Yeah, well, I can't put him out there and feel good about it.
Him and Robbie Anderson are literally the same
fucking week. They give it to Cooper Kupp. So, yeah, I don't know. I don't feel great about it, but nobody on the Lions other than maybe Hawkinson.
Yeah, I'm going back and forth between him and Fant again. Like, do I start Fant? I think Fant showed up on the injury report.
Yeah, he did. And that's a good point. I mean, Cleveland, they're in an interesting spot right now. They could end up getting steamrolled on Thursday night. I know that we both picked them, but this could, with all the injury. If Baker doesn't play, it's a different game. Game. But, yeah. So I think Rams wise, you obviously start your fucking Cooper Kupp.
Start Kupp, start Stafford, start Henderson. Henderson's starting to play well.
And Rams win this game easy.
Yep.
Chicago at Tampa Bay. That's a 13 right there. And I take them again.
I'm going to take that also.
I think Chicago has not looked good. And I think Tampa Bay continues to roll. Tampa Bay's offense has looked good. Tampa Bay, honestly, in that Thursday night game, they took their foot off the pedal. If they had kept going, if they had just kept throwing the ball and kept doing it, because they gave the ball to Leonard Fournette in the second half of the game. They were like, hey, just get us home. You know, we're already won this game. So, and Chicago, it might be the same story where they just give it to Leonard Fournette crazy amount of times, but I have them winning by at least 13, at least 2 touchdowns. So,
I would think so.
Yeah. Tampa Bay, start them all. Chicago, be wary of everybody. I don't know anybody in Chicago that you want to start.
Maybe I might be starting that Khalil dude again.
Oh, yeah. No. That's right.
Yeah.
No, he's good. He looked good. He looked good. Honestly, the couple runs I saw from him, I was like, who the fuck is this kid? He looks fucking good. Mm-hmm. And he's got Bay Bear's name. Then we go Indianapolis at San Francisco. San Francisco, the 3.5-point favorite. I think Jimmy Garoppolo is coming to start for this game, and Trey Lance is injured, but I don't know that for sure. I think right now they were both limited participants at practice is what I read. I'm going to take Indianapolis. Indianapolis obviously beat the shit out of us, but I think they looked a lot better in that game. They're realizing we need to be a Jonathan Taylor team.
Yeah, I think they are.
And not so much rely on Carson Wentz and rely on Darius Leonard to play lights out defense, which is what they did versus us. And
I still think, I'm going to take San Francisco on this.
No, I hear you. They're at home. It's a Sunday night game. The lights are going to be bright. Yeah, I hear you. But I'm going to take Indy just as kind of my wild pick this week.
One of them Indianapolis receivers is going to probably have a good game. Most likely definitely. Pittman.
Or maybe Pascal.
Maybe. Monitor. I mean, honestly, if T.Y. is not hurt, they'll throw him the ball.
Yeah.
Like, if he play, he actually might be on the waiver wire.
Yeah. Yeah, no, Sam's got him.
Well, maybe not in our league, but in somebody's league, he might still be out there.
Yeah, that's true. And then Monday night's game is New Orleans at Seattle. So New Orleans is a 5-point favorite on the road. That's Geno Smith's fault, and that's Chris Carson being out, and that's the fact that their defense still isn't very good on Seattle. I'm taking New Orleans on the road. I can't be confident in Seattle with who they are right now.
And without Russell Wilson, it's just
even though that was an overtime loss to Pittsburgh, and Pittsburgh had to really fight them on that. And I'm not saying they didn't. I mean, they have players. They have DK Metcalf, and they have players. They're gonna fight, but I still think New Orleans gets it done. I'm not crazy about any of the receivers on New Orleans. I wouldn't start any receivers.
Michael Thomas is available to come off of the PUP list this week.
Oh, really? Interesting.
But I think from what I've heard that he probably won't play the first few games.
No, wow. So. Well, what else is new? When's the last time he played? And Seattle, you got to be scared of certain people like Lockett and DK.
Yeah. Because I was going to bring that up.
They're not going to have the same... They don't have the deep threat.
Geno Smith is not Russell Wilson.
No, he's not. No matter how much you see it in Geno's face too. Like it's just sad looking at him over there on the sidelines. He's like, man, I'm just not that good. He's just not. And but what's his name? Alex Collins.
Yeah,
interesting one.
He'll get around.
But I think honestly, I think this is a good Jameis week. I think he comes out and they look good. Their defense looks better.
Coming off a bye, also. I'm gonna take New Orleans.
Yeah, I think it's New Orleans.
I think coming off a bye, you can script a lot of Jameis's game that he already know. So he's gonna be well scripted in this game.
I went to the movies. I went to the movies to see Venom 2.
Oh, okay.
Did you see Venom 1?
I think so.
Yeah, it wasn't very memorable. It was kind of weird. I think here's my thing with Tom Hardy. I think Tom Hardy is a really good bad guy and a really good supporting character. Like in all the movies where he's gotten acclaim, The Revenant, Inception, The Dark Knight, where he's Bane, anything where he's the bad guy in it, or he's kind of like a side character and he's kind of interesting. But something about him as the leading man, it's just kind of weird. And Woody Harrelson is actually really good in this movie. He plays Carnage, and the CGI was better than the first one. There was moments in the first one where I was like, it didn't look so good. But this one, they obviously got more money, and the CGI was baller. There were some good fight scenes, but Venom is just kind of weird because it's like this alien thing that enters him.
Well, he was never a superhero.
No, he was a villain to Spider-Man. Yeah. And they did do their own comic line with Venom, but it was about him being a villain. And in this one, Eddie Brock is trying to control Venom, and like he's like, no, we can't, like he has a no eating people sign, and it's all just like this back and forth between Tom Hardy talking to himself and having this inner fucking dialogue with Venom, and like, no, we can't do that, we can't eat them. And so there was just kind of that, the whole thing. It was kind of a boring plot line, but it was alright. Venom 2 was alright. And the thing on Netflix that popped up this week is You. I was talking to him earlier about it. If you start, you need to start it from the beginning. The new season 3 just came out, but you have to start at the beginning. If you start it, like my wife started it by herself, and it was on in the background, and I heard it and was like, wait a minute, this is interesting. Because it's like, there are creepy dudes out there that stalk girls with the internet. And that's what this guy starts off being. You see him get on Facebook and social media, stalk this fucking girl, know where she's at all times, figures out her schedule, is always lurking around, just kind of steals her panties and shit, and does that whole, because he's a fucking murderer, because he's fucking Ted Bundy. And he has this little, he inherits a bookstore, I think because he kills the guy I think because he murders the owner of the bookstore. But he gets this bookstore that becomes his, that they have a room down below. It's like a sealed off, soundproof room that is for airtight. It's to where they can put old books in so that they can't
preserve them. Right.
But he uses it as a cage where he traps his victims. And I'm spoiling alert the first season because that one's been out for a long time. Go fuck yourself. The first season, he kidnaps this girl that he's stalking, and he ends up killing her. And so then it sends him down this spiral of like, where he's like hiding bodies, and he's really good at it. That's the other scary part about this show too, is that you're like, man, this guy somehow always comes up with this weird way to get out of the murder that he just committed. So You is really interesting. The lead guy, I think his name is Penn Bagley or something like that. He was on I'm going to say the wrong thing. It's like Gossip Girl or something like that from back in the day. I don't know. It was some girl show. That's why I thought this was a chick flick. Whenever it came up on Netflix, I was like, oh, this is another chick flick shit. But his face when he fucking snaps and he's like, I'm gonna fucking kill you. You're like, oh shit. He's got some Ted Bundy in him. I was joking before. I'm pretty sure in real life he's murdered at least 3 people just to like study for the role. He was like, yeah, I want to like get into my character. So I went out and I just like, I killed a couple homeless people. And let me tell you, that shit is exhilarating because it seems like he enjoys it and he really goes to a deep place. And I don't give a fuck saying this either. There's a episode in season 2 where he gets acid. They give him acid. It's not even like he gets spiked acid where he gives it to him, and he's like, oh my god. And he's like in the middle of trying to hide bodies while he's tripping balls on acid. And I took acid and was watching You and watching this episode, and I was so like I was like, wait a minute, I killed all these people, and the cops are coming, and they know that I did it, and oh no, the walls are closing in. Like it was a bad trip because it was a trip where I ended up going. I'll tell you another thing to not watch on acid: Chernobyl. Don't start watching the show where a nuclear reactor melts down and they're all like, are we dying? Is there radiation in me? I was telling my wife, I was like, it's in the house. Like, how are we going to get the radiation out of the house? And she was like, no. We need to watch something else. A great thing to do on acid is football. I watched
yeah.
the Buffalo Bills Houston Texans playoff game that Deshaun Watson came back and we won. That we beat Josh. I would think this was like 3 years ago, maybe 3 years ago. Yeah. Was it?
Don't trust my memory.
Was it? Yeah, I don't mean, again, I'm talking about my acid
We
trips.
were in a playoff game.
Yeah, I'm here right now. I took that before the game, and so like it's a really intense game. We end up coming back and winning. I thought I was Deshaun Watson. I'm sweating. I'm standing up in the middle of my fucking living room, like, yeah, you want some? I'm like, I was there. I was in the moment. I'm calling the plays. It was unreal.
I just remember we ate mushrooms that one day, and Cooper Cup,
man.
Cooper Cup.
Oh, I was all about Cooper Cup. I had Cooper Cup. I know how this goes with Cooper Cup. Please throw him. Oh no.
This is why you draft people like Derrick Henry and Cooper Cup and things, because it's fun to root for them.
Yeah.
And it sucks to not have them.
Yeah. Yeah, but I had Cooper Cup, and it always went to Robert Woods. Jared Goff went to Robert Woods every fucking time. I had Cooper. That's what on mushrooms. I'm Cooper Cup. Fuck, it went to Robert Woods. Cooper Cup. Oh, and it's fucking Robert Woods. He would have good games,
right?
But he wouldn't get the
not
touchdowns.
Like
Not this. Not where he's fucking 3 touchdowns a game and 100 receptions. Like, what the fucking fuck? But yeah, check out You on Netflix. It is fucking
don't
fantastic.
Watch it on acid.
No, don't do it, because
do that.
you'll think that you've killed people, and I thought that I had murdered, and that's not the case. I didn't do that. I didn't murder. This is a weird thing that I'm insinuating. I didn't murder anyone. Okay, I didn't murder anyone, but I could see myself. Could you see yourself killing?
If I really had to, I suppose.
See, like me and my wife talked about this. Like, there's a if someone broke into my house, okay, no questions. If it was like intent to hurt and like they broke in with like violent ideas or like we're trying to hurt our dogs or my wife or anything like that, I'm killing you on the spot.
Right.
If you do something to one of my family members and hurt them or whatever, I don't know, like if there's a taken situation and you have them and you're like, you got to come get them from me. I always dream of that because I will kill you then too. But just normal day to day, like this guy on You, I mean, he's killing people for crazy reasons. But, I don't think I could do that per se. But I mean, if we go,
I believe I have the ability to take a life.
Sure.
In certain situations, but it surely doesn't excite me.
No, it's not something that I get excited about, but I think I could do it as well. And I think that this is a weird thing that we got into that we're talking about.
Yeah.
But let's talk about killing each other in the UFC ring, because we got a good UFC 267. It's not this Saturday; it's the Saturday after that. I think
Blachowicz is fighting?
Yeah, Blachowicz is fighting Teixeira. Teixeira's old as fuck, but he's been doing really well. And Dana White's been saying, "I'm going to give you a shot," and Blachowicz is like, "Yeah, I'll give you a shot." I think Blachowicz ends this pretty early. Actually, I think he's too strong for Teixeira, and I think it's an easy win for him. All right, that noise just keeps happening, doesn't it? Then it's Peter Yohn and Corey Sanhagen. It was supposed to be the rematch of Peter Yohn and Aljamain Sterling. Did you see that fight?
I don't know.
Okay, Peter Yohn is winning the fight. There is a rule in the UFC where if you're down on a knee or your hand is on the ground, you can't knee them
in the head.
Fucking ridiculous. Aljamain Sterling was clearly taking a break. He's hand fighting with Peter Yohn, and then he's going down because Peter Yohn's fucking him up. So he's going down. He takes a knee, and he's standing there, or he's kneeling there, just kind of like holding his hands and just kind of like doing this. So Peter Yohn, if this was a real fucking fight, he's like, well, fuck this shit, and just fucking knees him straight in the face, knocks him the fuck out. It was, but illegal. They called it a DQ. They call Aljamain Sterling the champion because Peter Yohn was the champion. So they took Peter Yan's belt off an illegal knee.
I must have seen it.
It's pretty great.
I don't recall.
It's pretty great.
But it's illegal.
Again,
I mean, like, you can't
illegal,
do
blah,
that.
blah, 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 blah. Listen, what Aljamain Sterling was doing was taking a break. He was chilling because he was losing the fight. And why is that not illegal? Why is it okay to? This is a fight, and it's not a boxing match. It's a UFC fight. If they were on the ground,
have you ever seen
could have kept hitting it.
the early UFC 1? I think it was where the dude fucking soccer kicked that dude's head against the cage
down.
and and teeth came out. That's why you can't. So you have to. That's why you can't do this to a
Dana. I want that.
But you can't. I mean, that was so You're like, oh,
bring it on.
I didn't remember that.
Bring it on. I love it. No,
you gotta have.
I know what you mean. I know what you mean. I know what you mean. But
you also, for the safety of these guys, you just don't want to. I mean, you don't want someone down taking a fucking knee to the head, bro.
Yeah. But listen, Peter Yan versus Corey Sanhagen. Let's just talk about that. So the Aljamain Sterling got hurt and he's out. So it went Corey Sanhagen. Corey Sanhagen is a striker, an elite striker. He's knocked a lot of dudes out with spinning heel kicks. He's great at kicking. Peter Yan, great striker. We ended up with the best matchup that we could because Aljamain Sterling's like a wrestler, jiu-jitsu guy. So the fact that we ended up with Peter Yan versus Corey Sanhagen, I love. This is going to be a fucking bonkers fight. Both of these dudes have chins. They don't go out. They're going to stand and trade in the pocket. They both kick. They both have knockout power. It's going to be a great, great, great fight. I can't wait for that one, including the next fight, which is Dan Hooker getting Islam Makhachev. Islam Makhachev's a wrestler, boy. He's a Corey Sanhagen or a Khabib disciple. So he wants to come in and do the wrestling thing, but he's not at Khabib's level. I don't care what anybody says. He's not as good as a wrestler as Khabib. And Dan Hooker's going to get you. As you're coming in, I think Dan Hooker's going to get you. That's going to be a really fun fight. Yeah, Dan Hooker's awesome. Fight. He's awesome. And Volkov, Alexander Volkov versus Tybora. These are both two heavyweights that have been on a little bit of a run recently. Volkov's a huge fucking guy. That should be fun. That's a great heavyweight fight. And then Chimaev, Khamzat Chimaev was on a roll during the quarantine. He fought 3 times in a row and was just smashing people, submitting them, knocking them out. His wrestling is elite. He's from that side of the world, so his wrestling is elite, but his striking is really good too. I think he's 170 pounds. He fought nobodies because he was on his way up and during the quarantine, but he fought back. I think he fought 2 weeks back to back, and Dana was like, "This has never been done before." But he just smoked both of the guys. It was 14-second fights, and jingling, jingling, ling, ling, jingling, ling, 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 ding-a-ling, ding, ding. All of these dings are not a part of his name, but I don't know how to say it, so I hope you know what I mean when I say jingling. But he's Chimaev, I think, is going to smoke him as well. And Jingling has been in the top 10 before. I don't think he is right now. He's a little bit older fighter, but this is a good first big fight for Chimaev. We'll see if he's ready for the big dance. UFC coming on strong. Jon Jones got kicked out of his gym too. Did you see that? Yeah, because of the whole domestic abuse arrests and him possibly doing some jail time. Yeah, Jackson Wink, he's been at for his whole career with Holly Holm and all them, and they said, "Hey man, you can't come back here." Which, honestly, the best Jon Jones is motherfucking coke snorting,
That guy just.
But that's when he smokes people. I hope that he comes back. We need Jon Jones versus Francis. That is the fight. That is the best fight. That's the best fight of all time, possibly. Especially if Francis knocks out the Cyril Gain guy. I mean, what is there for him? You could give him Stipe again, but there's really nobody else for him at heavyweight. He's beating them all. Yeah, but Cyril Gain, good. He's good. It'll be a good fight. And I think that's coming up into the year. So, UFC, let's go, baby. Brought to you by UFC. Brought to you by DraftKings. Brought to you by Home Depot. Brought to you by Whataburger. Brought to you by, oh man, what else? What's things that we use all the time? Centerpoint Energy. Brought to you by them, just in case I can get some free energy out of this.
HEB.
Yeah, hey, fuck yeah, HEB. Brought to you by HEB. No, it's great to have my guy back.
Yeah.
Last week I was talking to myself. I felt
Feels
like
better.
was like-
I felt like I felt like I called off of work last week. I really
not
did.
at
I was
all.
like, God
Not at
damn
all.
it.
No,
I can't do this.
We talked about it too, where this isn't some. I did this. It's so much easier for me too. This is upstairs in my house. I mean, I can just come up here and just fucking pop down and just fucking talk. But you've got schedules, you've got stuff that you've got to do, and you've got life. So it's not a job by any means. This is for fun, and this is to make you fantasy player legends
And laugh.
and in life, and to think about whether or not you could kill someone. So go out there, kill someone.
Yeah, think about it.
Think about it. Yeah. Brought to you by DraftKings.